So the NBA draft lottery just concluded and I want to talk about it, the entire lottery. I originally wanted to talk about Victor Wembanyama, but I just couldn't see myself making an entire video dedicated to him, so I want to talk about the top picks because things got very interesting. So as you guys know, the San Antonio Spurs won the draft lottery having the rights to Victor Wembanyama. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think he was gonna go to San Antonio. My best bets were either Charlotte or the Rockets. I'm actually very surprised that San Antonio got him. I will say, I think San Antonio and the Rockets would have been a 1A or 1B best case scenario for Wembanyama. For one, having Greg Popovich as a coach is going to help you a lot as a young player. I imagine that the Spurs are going to do pretty well developing this man into a great talent. Also, he's going to be following the footsteps of David Robinson and Tim Duncan and a lot of Spurs legends. But I'm not going to lie, this is a little bit suspicious because looking at the standings, this made no sense whatsoever. And I will actually explain more in depth why in the video. This is a weird draft lottery to me, but regardless, I'm happy to see San Antonio get him. I think it is interesting though, in the past 35 years, they're going to get the top 3 prospects when it comes to centers. I don't know how Wembanyama will do his first year. That is a whole other video we can talk about, but regardless, it is interesting to see Wembanyama go to the Spurs. Now the Hornets would actually get the number 2 pick, which I think we all know Scoot Henderson is going to be drafted with that. I know some Hornets fans are kind of upset because they lost out on Wembanyama and they were so close, but you have to look at it this way. I would say that this is one of the first drafts that I've seen in a very long time where getting the 1 and 2 pick, there's no losing. Of course, there's the possibility of having a draft bust, like Wemby could be a bust or Scoot could be a bust, but regardless, I don't see a losing situation. If this was any other draft class or Wembanyama just did not exist, this man Scoot Henderson would undisputably be the number 1 pick. I feel bad for the man. This man is getting overshadowed by Wembanyama, who is a great prospect, but people are forgetting about Scoot Henderson. I mean, this was literally the Victor Wembanyama draft lottery. Just like in 2019, it was the Zion Williamson draft lottery. But yet people forgot about Ja Morant, which is actually doing, shit. Well, it was good for a while. I'm excited though to see Scoot Henderson playing with a guy like LaMelo Ball. I think he's going to play amazing. In fact, this could be a hot take, but I'm not gonna lie. I do see Scoot Henderson having the better career compared to Wembanyama. Now look, I pray to God that Wembanyama doesn't go what Zion's gone through with all the injuries that he's dealt with, and the number 2 pick is just balling, well, except for doing stupid shit. But seriously, I look at Scoot and I think this man could really be the future of the NBA. Now, after these 2 picks, the rest of this is all subjective. If I had to guess, and I've never really been a draft lottery guy, but if I did have to guess, I would say the Blazers are gonna get Brandon Miller, but that's only if they keep their pick. I'm hearing some rumors that the Blazers are going to trade this pick for either a superstar or just some assets to build around Damian Lillard. To be honest, I think this is a bad move. If I'm the Blazers, I'm either using Brandon Miller and Damian Lillard as a great duo, or I'm just trading Damian Lillard, getting some assets and building around Brandon Miller. And it's not like Damian Lillard is bad, but I'm sorry, this Blazers team, they're not going to win for a while. And quite frankly, they're not in a rebuilding stage. Damian Lillard is getting older and eventually he's going to leave this city possibly without a championship. And I don't see any situation where you try to start the rebuilding process now and expect it to end well. Regardless, if the Blazers keep their pick, I do expect them to take Brandon Miller, and I think that would be a great addition to their team. The Rockets actually got the number 4 pick, and this is going to be a very interesting offseason. I've been thinking about making a video about the Houston Rockets as a whole because they have a really bright future. Now, I'm not going to lie, I did think they were going to get the number 1 pick, and if they got Victor Wembanyama, well, a lot of things were going to change. For one, it is rumored that James Harden is going to be leaving the Philadelphia 76ers. As of this morning, he just declined his player option, and it seems like he wants to go to a competitive team. And while the Rockets are coming off a season where they did not do that well, they have a bright future, especially if they get James Harden. I see guys like Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. really developing this upcoming season, and depending who they get in the NBA draft is going to tell an interesting story. From everything I'm seeing, the Rockets are either going to get Amen Thompson or Brandon Miller. I think these 2 players are definitely interchangeable between 3 and 4, and if I'm the Rockets, I'd be very lucky if I got Amen Thompson. I've seen some film on this guy, and I'm not going to lie, he's a great passer and is a great scorer. He's the size of a wing, yet he has point guard abilities. Now, this might get a little bit complicated because remember, the Rockets have Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr., which is the reason why I think Amen Thompson's actually going to go to the Blazers and Brandon Miller could be going to the Rockets. Regardless, I think these are 2 great players and the Rockets can snag any of them, that would be perfect. I've heard a little bit of some rumors that the Rockets could possibly trade this pick, but I don't see a situation where that happens. The only way I could see this happening is if James Harden is trying to go to Houston and there's a sign and trade that has to happen, but even then, I think you can get James Harden in some other ways. I mean, remember, he did decline his player option, so he's going to be a free agent. I will say though, Rockets fans, you definitely have a bright future, and this team could be really good in the next like 3 to 5 seasons. Man, I feel so bad for the Pistons. They had easily the worst record in the NBA, and they only got a top 5 pick. I mean, literally, the team above them in the Eastern Conference, the Hornets, who won 27 games, managed to get the number 2 pick while the Pistons barely got a top 5 pick. Now, the good news for the Pistons is that there is a lot of talent in this year's draft class. However, who they select is going to be interesting. If I was a Pistons fan, I really would have wished they would have got like the number 3 pick so they could have got Brandon Miller. However, I do think getting a player like Cam Whitworth or Taylor Hendricks would be good for the team. I think if the Pistons could get a 3, it's definitely going to even out their starting lineup. They have a great player in Cade Cunningham, and they overall have a good center in Jalen Duren, but I do think getting a 3 or a 4 could really help this team balance out and possibly make a run for the play-in, which I know the play-in isn't the most exciting thing, but you have to remember it's going to take a while for this team to develop, and they could do just that with making a right pick. I do want to briefly talk about the Magic. I think they have the opportunity to be one of the best teams in the East. It is going to take some of the young players to develop, but I think getting a guy like Taylor Hendricks would be perfect. Imagine pairing up Paolo Banchero with Taylor Hendricks. I think that is a solid duo. And I didn't even bring up the Magic's starting lineup, which is starting to really balance out as time has gone on. We go from the Magic to the Pacers, who have the number 7 pick, who could get Ausar Thompson. I might have butchered his name, not gonna lie. For some reason, it seems like the Pacers should be great, but they just never are, and they're missing one guy. And I do believe that Ausar Thompson could be just that player. I've heard some rumors that the Pacers are gonna trade guys maybe like Buddy Hield or Miles Turner. So if they do that, getting a guy like Thompson or maybe Taylor Hendricks, again, this is all speculation, but getting one of those players could definitely shake up the roster, and it can help them going forward. I won't lie, the draft lottery and the NBA draft as a whole has never really been my thing. Of course, I'll watch it because I like to see these young players get drafted, but I've never really cared that much as far as scouting and looking into it. However, this season has been a little bit different. After seeing guys like Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson, I've been very interested at looking at some of these prospects. Now, I don't know if I'm going to go as far as doing a mock draft, at least not on my YouTube, but you never really know. I am, however, considering the possibility of live streaming on this channel when the draft is going on. I haven't done this in like 2 years, so if you guys do want to see that, just let me know in the comment section below. But regardless, what do you guys think about the draft lottery? Again, I thought it was pretty weird seeing the fact that the Spurs are going to get Victor Wembanyama. It does seem a little scripted. Look, there's only so much I can say about the entire draft in this like 8-minute video. So if you guys want to see a more in-depth look, we're going to be talking about it on my podcast. It's going to come out this Friday. There's a chance that we each do a little mock draft. So again, I'm probably not going to do a mock draft on this channel. So make sure you check out the podcast if you do want to see that. If you guys do want to see episode 2, I'm going to put the video on the screen right here.